For the next 10 or so minutes, we'll take a look at 6 companies that caught my eye in enterprise technology funding over the last 2 weeks. A little bit of everything from security, cloud optimization, procurement, and of course a little bit of AI in there as well. So let's get going because we've got a bunch to get through. So first up is FusionAuth. And FusionAuth have raised $65 million in a funding round. This is the first time that FusionAuth has raised any money. So they've essentially bootstrapped, I believe they've essentially bootstrapped this company since its inception. Now, this makes it really impressive considering the current company's growth and statistics, which we'll go into shortly as well. So then let's add another element to that, which is the company's claiming it's already profitable and it was only founded in 2018. So with this big investment coming up, you can imagine if the company's already profitable as well, this company is about to scale. So let's have a little look at this one. So what does FusionAuth do? They are a developer platform for identity and access management, and their claim is that they are built by developers for developers. They do everything you would imagine: multi-factor authentication, passwordless, biometrics. They even layer in security on top of that as well, and they help developers really build this access management capability across mobile, web, apps, any type of development environment. They simplify it. So let's have a quick look at them because there's a bit to get through here because it's quite a comprehensive platform. So jumping into the website, you can see that straight away that this company's got quite a substantial platform, and it really takes in the whole spectrum of this identity space, right? They really harness this simplification message. If we look at the product, it comes with all of the sort of bits and pieces you'd imagine, right? So it's a comprehensive platform for this space: authentication, SSO, MFA, passwordless, biometrics, machine to machine, which is great, bit of advanced threat protection, and then how the platform operates, registration forms, multi-tenants, and they've got their own cloud as well. So there's a whole bunch there. Jump into pricing. Okay, we host. So a simple pricing calculator here. Select that. Feature comparison charts. And if you jump back here, you can download it straight away as well. I mean, this is kind of the holy trinity of sort of value propositions, right? A very clear value proposition around what they do, what they deliver. Very clear pricing model around how much that value is going to cost. And then it's very easy to get started and get going. I mean, this is probably why this company is growing so fast over just sort of 5-6 years, is already profitable, and then has raised a massive round as well. So I expect big things from FusionAuth. I'm glad to have come across this company. Would love to tinker with a little bit and get some under the hood sort of exposure, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this one. Next one today is a company called Xage Security, who raised $20 million in a funding round. Now, Xage Security are a network detection intrusion response platform focusing on the IoT and OT space, particularly working around remote access and identity as well. So let's have a quick look at them because there's a little bit to look into here. It's quite impressive. So the first thing you notice is they're really harnessing this zero trust approach. So really focusing on the zero trust framework and its importance in the IoT and OT space. This is what I really liked about the Xage value proposition. It's got 3 key components, right? So it's got the identity-based access management capability, the remote access capability, which is prevalent in IoT and OT, thinking about third-party access to particular types of infrastructure. And then the data exchange, which is around data security and sharing data in a secure manner, all underpinned by a platform and a fabric platform that sort of brings all these things together. Now, this is a really strong value proposition. It's easy to understand. There's 3 components with the fabric. That's a powerful message. If you then scroll down to here, there's 8 or so dot points which really make it crystal clear around what their superpowers are. Very obvious around who they're going after, what they're trying to do. Now, there's no pricing available with Xage. It's all, booking and demo type of platform. They've raised over $80 million so far as a company. So really, sort of getting started at the end of the day, and, a whole bunch more to come. Next one today is a company called ORO Labs. I'm going to call them ORO for short. They've raised $34 million in a Series B for their supplier management platform. So ORO help companies simplify the whole life cycle of supplier management. Think onboarding, compliance checks, procurement, and the procurement life cycle around those suppliers as well. That whole process can be quite frustrating and annoying if it's disjointed and you're using emails in parts of it and you don't know where things are up to. Having an overview, simplifying that process is quite powerful. Now, ORO also talk about the simplification of building out these processes. Let's have a quick look at their website and their value proposition. So it's quite basic, this is, right? There's very straightforward, simple messaging, I suppose, what that's going for. I mean, these stock images really don't do the messaging many favors. Look at that one as an example. There's sort of these little demos and things going on here. Okay, so let's jump into the platform. A little bit to go through here. I mean, this is, it's like a really, really basic kind of messaging. I mean, look how simple this stuff is. A little bit of a demo here. I mean, I'm not sure if they're trying to align the simplification with the simplicity of the messaging. It's like almost too simple here, this website, in my opinion. Too much sort of, yes, this is what we do, which is obvious, but sort of give us a bit more oomph to it. Leaves a lot of questions in my mind around what they do, how they do it, and really how it's executed properly. It is a very basic website. The company, I think, is still only 3 years old. They've got a really nice round. So I'd imagine this sort of fleshing out of the value proposition of what it does, a bit more insights into the platform and how to get around it will come with time. So next up is a company called Graylog, who raised $39 million in a combination of equity as well as debt. Now, the reason, and a large portion of that was debt. Now, the reason for that is the company's about to head into be cash flow positive. So obviously, why would they give more of the company away in terms of equity? So a smart funding round by the owners there. And, I think it goes to show just sort of what you can do when you have this type of platform. And Graylog started as a open source company, right? And now they're starting to pivot. We've seen that a lot, pivot to commercialization. And Graylog are a log management and SIEM platform at the end of the day, competing with the likes of Splunk, Sumo Logic. There's quite a few there. So jumping into the website, I think, straight away, you can tell that this has been and is an open source community project. There's a whole bunch going on around this website. It's really talking around releases and community and things like that. Really great statistics as well from them. I think they've got thousands of users. I'm not sure if Cisco is going to be continuing to be one of their customers. That might get removed soon. We'll see. Huge community, lots of deployments, and it's interesting because you kind of get that sense from this website. It's kind of got that open source kind of feel about it. I wonder if, the main types of users are those IT sysadmins or the IT managers that really are big proponents of open source, and they really like to use open source as much as they can. And this would give them sort of a set of capability. Now, open source obviously usually means it's pretty straightforward to get started, and you can get this really quickly. You can basically download it straight away and get started. They also offer commercial aspects. So let's jump into those. So if you go into pricing, you've got Graylog Open, self-managed. You've then got Graylog Security and Graylog Operations as well. Now, the interesting thing is Graylog API Security. I think this is kind of a new area of it. And this is where I would suggest growth is going to come from these guys, because API security is becoming way more important than it ever has been. It's going to continually be more important as systems are more open and integrated with each other through the use of APIs. And it's a common vector these days for threats. So cool technology. I mean, the breadth and depth of what they offer and based off a community that already exists, then pivoting into a commercial model, it's easy to see why they're, expecting to be cash flow positive soon. Next up is a company called Cast AI, who have raised a solid $35 million in a Series B. So this is all about Kubernetes cost optimization, leveraging AI to identify and deploy or scale and auto scale or whatever you want to call it. Really like the optimal cost to performance ratio, based off intelligence for your clusters. And also doing this on the fly. So if you imagine, you're running an e-commerce website and there's big sales day, Black Friday sales or whatever it might be, and you need to scale your clusters up big time for that, and you need to do it in the most optimal way. Well, this platform helps you do that, right? And so it reduces the costs because it uses machines to make those decisions rather than people doing guessworks or spreadsheets or however they may do it. And ultimately, this is really important. If these companies are needing to use their web infrastructure and any impacts and optimizations they can get there go straight to the bottom line, then good value proposition. So let's take a quick look at them. Bit of a nerdy, geeky website. It's all about Kubernetes and containers and things like that. Now it says you can get started for free. If you click on that, you're asked to log in. I think it gives you access to a console and off you go. Pricing is really straightforward. Really interesting here. We don't charge a percent of your savings. And we've seen that with a few cloud cost optimizations companies over the last few months where they go, okay, we're going to save you 50% of your costs and we're going to take this much, which is kind of, I do understand that value proposition around like that risk-free and confidence. But this doesn't go down that path. And I'd be interesting, I don't have time to do it right now, but I'd be interested to see the maths around whether or not you're better off commercially using this model versus the other model. I suppose every scenario is different. So interesting to see that they're not going down that route. And you can get started for free, which is great. You get basics sort of ability with that, but easy to get going. So looking at the platform, it does cost optimization, cost monitoring, which is free, and container security, which is free. So really, it gives you access to, I suppose, monitoring and insights based off security and cost. And that's how they get customers to jump in. Okay, can I save money? Is my environment secure? All those types of things. Okay, if you want to start automatically saving that money, then you got to buy the subscription. Pretty good sort of PLG approach. Anyway, a cool use case. It's specific, but nonetheless, a cool use case. Last one today is a company called Tab9 who raised $25 million from Telstra Ventures in a funding round. Now, Tab9 are all around giving developers and empowering developers with an AI assistant. I think we're going to all have to start getting used to having lots of little AI assistants all around us. Let's jump into the website to have a quick look at this pretty straightforward value proposition. So it really talks about speed in development, and also obviously the security around that. Tab9 is free. You can use Tab9 free, which is kind of cool to get an AI assistant free. And then if you want some enterprise features, you've got to start paying for it. Apparently, lots and lots of developers are already using it. And let's just watch this. Watch how quickly this demo goes through and helps, build this line of code. They're just writing some stuff in natural language there and goes, boom, code's done. Right? It's really simple. And we're starting to see a lot of this, how quickly developers can start executing code and removing some of that repetitive code that is needed in there as well, or them having to write that repetitive code. This is really powerful. It is there's lots of companies doing this at the moment, like particularly the big ones that are in the development environment space, like GitHub. So, lots to happen here. It's all around efficiency. It's all around speed. What I do like about this is it's free. I think when you look at the enterprise version, though, the stuff that's in enterprise, like your code remains always private and secure. Well, you kind of want that if you're developing for a company. So I suppose you probably need to be on business or the enterprise version pretty quickly. And it says it's like really secure, as one would expect. Anyway, nice little tech, looks super helpful, a good round for them, and you can get started for free, so what's not to like? Anyway, that's it for this week. 6 companies to go through over the last fortnight in the enterprise technology space. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more hopefully next week to give you an update. Thank you. Bye.